easier than canned cocktails. I've never said that, but I know that's true. Please welcome Sebastien Centner. Hey, Seb.
Hey, Marilyn, how are you?
Very good. I like this because you're going to take canned cocktails and you're going to amp them up with your favorite kind of things, accoutrement, making us look like rock stars. So, where are we going to
Absolutely.
begin?
So we're going to start with, we are going to take canned cocktails. We're going to show you to amp them up. And I know the last segment we did got really into cocktails and mixology. So this one here is going to be a little bit easier, but the cocktails are going to come out just as great. So we're going to start
Okay,
with
good.
a vodka
Hmm.
smash. Okay, so our first
Okay.
cocktail, these are all, by the way, the hottest, trendiest canned cocktails for the season. And you can enjoy them without adding all these little accoutrements. But at the same time, we're trying to show you an option that if you want to amp it up a little bit, we're going to show you some really easy
Yeah,
ways to do that. So first cocktail
love
is
it.
our vodka smash.
Hmm.
We're starting out with a glass, and what I've done here is I've actually taken little pieces of lemon and I've frozen them in the cubes. Super simple to do. You do it the night before, really easy, but it just creates this really beautiful look. Then I simply pour my vodka smash over. And keep in mind, even though this is the brand for this is actually an Ontario brand, you can get it across Canada. But even if you can't find this,
Hmm.
find another citrus brand and it's fine. As long as it's vodka citrus, it'll work. And then I'm adding a little bit of lemonade, just a touch. And there you go. It's as simple as that. We've taken a basic, really delicious cocktail and made it even better with 2 steps.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah. So that's our first cocktail. I'm going to put that aside now, and we're going to
Lemon,
move to our
lemon.
next one. Lemon. It's nice
I
and
love all
fresh and
that. The
perfect for
lemon
summer.
cubes.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's
tell
great. All
me,
right, what's
our
next?
our
Hmm.
next one. So, do you like Moscow mules?
I do. I do.
Okay, so Moscow mules are a big favorite in our family. So are Kentucky mules. The difference, by the way, Moscow mules with vodka,
Ah.
Kentucky mules with bourbon. So today we're going to take the classic
Ah.
Moscow mule, and I found this
Okay.
amazing mix. It's a Moscow mule. It's made by Cabana Coast. Again, it's purely ready to go in the can. You can drink it as is on ice, but I'm going to show you the way to upgrade it. So first of all, I got these great copper cups, which are classic Moscow mule cups. Just filled it with ice, made it really, really simple like that. And what I'm going to do next
Uh-huh.
is I'm going to add some cucumber to it. I'm
Okay.
going to add a little bit of fresh mint.
Good. Hey,
And
hey,
then,
Sebastian, why is it always in the copper? Why is it just the look or why?
it's one, it keeps it really, really cold because the steel actually keeps
Okay.
the temperature really, really well. And
Yeah,
I know that
right.
there's a few drinks that they do this way. To me, I don't know where the origin comes from, frankly. I just think it looks
Yeah,
really, really
right.
pretty, and it tastes delicious
It
too.
does. Delicious. So the
So again,
cucumber just
great,
puts a different
great.
spin.
It's just, what I'm trying to do is to show that there's ways you can do it super simple. I mean, if you want to just enjoy it on ice, or frankly, right out of the can if it's cold, if you're on a dock, if you're by a
Hmm.
pool or
Hmm.
something, no problem. But if you want to
Hmm.
upgrade it a little bit, it's super easy to do. Even if you don't have the Moscow Mule glasses and you don't want to invest in them, just use a regular clear glass, acrylic if you're outside by the pool or anything. But the cucumber, the mint,
Hmm.
it's just going to add that green color to it that'll really make it a little bit more special.
Oh, that's refreshing. Okay, two ways to amp up your cider.
Okay, so far we've worked with vodka cocktails, okay, canned cocktails. Now we're going to move on and we're going to try a cider. So one of the things I found here was this is a hibiscus flavored cider. So it's really delicious. It's quite sweet. So what we decided to do is turn it into a sangria. So what I'm starting with is I'm going to take my pitcher here, which is filled with
Hmm.
ice. I'm now going to add some fresh fruit to it, and this is going to be a berry sangria. So a lot of sangrias usually have more citrus fruits or things like apples and
Hmm.
pears. In this case, I'm using all berries. So I've got my raspberries and my strawberries, and then I'm going to put a few blackberries in there. And this is nice because it gives a real contrast to it. Now, the one thing is
Hmm.
a lot of sangrias you can make the day before and let everything marinate. This, you don't want to do that because the berries are softer. So you want to make sure you do it the day of or
Hmm.
just before you have your guests over. Then, what do I do?
Okay.
Put in my hibiscus cider. So super easy. There we
Super
go.
easy. How pretty. Yeah.
Right. And again, all of these things, you can enjoy them without making all these upgrades, but I do it just because it adds a little bit of pizzazz to it. So of course the look is great, but now we're going to add some flavor. So a little bit of Pinot Grigio, because
Got
what would a
it.
sangria be if it didn't have wine? And the Pinot Grigio goes really well with the cider because the Pinot Grigio is nice and light. I'm going to add a little bit of Saint-Germain, and what this is this is elderflower liqueur. And what it does, it adds a little bit of sweetness to it, so we don't put too much in. And then finally, we're going to top it with soda water. So what I've done is I've taken the hibiscus cider and I've given you a way to just make it a little bit more interesting. And the great thing about this is you just make it up and there you go. It's self-serve for the rest of the, there we go. That looks pretty good. I'll make myself a glass right now.
That looks really good.
There we go.
Refreshing. Yeah.
Ready to go. So that's one of our cocktails.
Cheers.
Now, I also wanted to show you something, another thing that you can do. Now, this is a little bit different, okay? What I've done here is I'm going to take a standard glass. I'm going to take another can of this hibiscus cider because I like it so much. I'm going to take some red currants and I'm going to take a berry smoothie. So these are the exact same berries that I used in the sangria, but I've turned them into a little smoothie here. So I blended them up super quickly. Now I'll try and do this without getting this all over my white shirt. See how well I do that. And I'm going to pour that in. All right, so this is a classic smoothie. I'm going about 3/4 full. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Did it without making a mess so far. And then all I'm doing is I'm adding my cider to it. Now the nice thing about this is if you look at it, it's just really topping it. So it gives us that little foamy finish to it. That to me is just perfect, and you mix it together, and we basically made ourselves a alcoholic smoothie. So cheers.
Oh, that's cool, and it looks great. Yeah, watch that.
And it's good for you too.
Shirt.
I'm being very careful. Yes. Oh my God, that's like breakfast. And then I forgot my currants. There we go. So then finally, now Marilyn, I know what a big fan you are of rosé wine. So I could not do this segment without including some rosé wines. So I've got a couple of things to show you. First of all, I found this really great canned rosé called Moscato. Or it's a Moscato. It's called Bodacious. Lots of reasons to pick that name. Starting with a very, very simple way to upgrade this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rosé canned wine, add it there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just plain soda water. And I'm turning this into a rosé spritzer. Simple, simple, simple. And also it's really nice because you can enjoy this because now I've cut the alcohol content in half. So it's really, really easy to enjoy. Yeah. And what I'll finally do is just do a little lemon garnish like that to give it a little bit of style. And you're ready to go. Nice. And one thing about this too. This is super easy to make. If you're going to make the lemon rinds at home, I suggest you leave them in the freezer overnight. Just take them out right before your guests arrive because that'll keep the shape really, really well. So that's one way to upgrade your rosé. It's nice, isn't it?
Like that.
And again,
it's beautiful.
Oh, the best part is doing all the sampling. Okay, and then last but not least, also with rosé, I'm creating something called a frosé. So have you ever heard of frosé?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Frozen yogurt.
So imagine
but that's it.
So frosé is basically frozen rosé. So we start with crushed ice. So I crushed up the ice in the blender. I'm just going to add a few raspberries and some fresh mint, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a splash of cassis. So cassis is a blackberry liqueur. I'm just putting a little bit in like this. There you go. And then we're just going to go ahead like this and add our rosé canned wine. And look at that. Super easy to make.
Pretty.
Really, really refreshing. And again, all we're doing is we're taking drinks that you can enjoy without doing all this extra work, putting a couple of really quick steps in, and you can really impress your guests this way. Cheers.
Yeah, and you will. Thank you. Cheers to you, Sebastien. Good to see you again. We have to take a break. Of course, all that stuff is available on Marilyn.ca. That's so great. Thanks, Seb.
Thanks, Marilyn.
All right, we're going to take a break, everybody. We'll be right back. Cheers.
Up next, Marilyn's must-see interview with Canadian voice artist Eric Bauza. That's up next.
Start your day with Crest 3D White. And from mochachinos to Merlot, your smile will always be brilliant. Crest